Back to the start. Rules for the day. It's very simple. I don't have to be here. I choose to be here. I don't get paid to be here. I choose to be here. Keep that in mind as the presentation goes along. I am a graduate of the AVID program, AVID class of 1994. Blaise and Michelle do an incredible job of teaching. Your teachers do an incredible teaching the mechanics of AVID, the study habits, the college prep, the college visits, all of that stuff. None of which is my job to do. I'm a huge proponent that the most important part of an AVID in the acronym are the last two letters, that individual determination. As I tell you what I'm going to tell you, that will become apparent.
So, Jordan, will you sit at the computer and just do the little click?
Next slide. So, there it is. I am here to tell you, not to tell you what to do. I am here to tell you a story. This is my story, and I tell it to you, not to brag. It will sound like bragging at some time, so that's why I tell you now. But in the hope that it will help you imagine the dreams that you have not dared to dream.
The dreams that you have not dared to dream.
Who I am. Okay, funny thing about my name, the entire world wants to call me Elio, and when that happens, I cringe. Either I choose to correct everyone in the world, or one day I just said, you know, you use Leo as a mnemonic device, might as well be Leo. So out in the business world, my name is Leo Lopez. I'm a commercial banker. I work for an incredible bank. I serve on boards, a bunch of other stuff, AVID class of 1994. So what I do for a living is inconsequential to what we're trying to accomplish here today. But just for your information, if you're ever driving around and you see a commercial building under construction and you imagine how that happened, well, I make decisions that decide where millions of dollars go for those type of projects to happen. That's my daily job. So I enjoy it very much. I've been at it 20 years, and I probably will be a banker for another 25 years. Okay, we had a video. I don't know if you can show it.
Should be, yeah.
I'll have to.
Da-da-da. The video audio is on. Sound. Okay, go back. Go.
The way I described it was a fictional interview on Ellis Island of my mother. What's your name? Immacolata Giordano Cuomo. Where are you from? Tremonti. How old are you? 25. Do you have any money with you? No. Maybe a few dollars. Are you educated? No, not really. Do you have any skill, any job? No. Where are you going? To meet my husband. Where is he? In New Jersey. Does he have a job? No, but he makes fosse. What is that? Trenches. Oh, he's a ditch digger. Yes. Well, what do you have? Well, we have nothing much except one child. You have no money, no skill, no friends, no job. Your husband's a ditch digger. You have one child. What did you come here for? Well, we came because over there was worse. And what do you expect of this country with the little you brought us? Well, not much. Just one thing. Before I die, I'd like one of my sons to be governor of the state of New York.
All right. So as the story goes, that will become very apparent why I show you that video. So I'm going to start with two things that I like very much for you to think of. One which you're going to think of on your own, and one that you're going to think of right now. So the first thing is 20 things. I don't remember what teacher taught me 20 things, but I want you to do it. So if you take the most ridiculous 20 things that you think that you are going to accomplish in life, and you write them down. There's no limit. You flat out take 20 things, however impossible you think they are, and you're going to write them down, and you're going to take action, and then you're going to put them away, and then 10 years later you take out the list, and you're going to be amazed at how many of those things you have accomplished. The it's a matter of taking action, deciding things. What you're deciding is that they're important. If they're important, you're gonna do something about it, even if you forget. You're gonna do that on your own. Today we're gonna do introductions, and I want you to go quick because there's a lot of us. But we are not starting until we're done. So, next slide, please. No, back. One more. One more. One more. It's not there. All right. That's odd. Okay. So, they had a double negative.
Okay.
So, you're going to tell me, in no uncertain terms, what you are going to be. Not what you want to be, what you're going to be. It's very simple. So, my name is Elio Lopez. I'm going to be a banker. That's what I want to know. So, we start right here. Tell me.
My name is Emmanuel, and I'm gonna be
Does it have to be their job?
You just have to pick something.
then.
Okay. Next. Speak up, please.
My name is Angel Traders, and I'm going to be an architect.
My name is Korea, and I'm gonna be civil. My name is Brian, and I'll be a construction manager.
Please speak up.
Louder!
My name is Eduardo, and I want to be a doctor.
Going to be. Daniela.
No, again. I will or I'm going to.
I'm going to be a doctor.
My name is Daniela, and I'm going to be happy.
What?
I'm going to be happy.
Okay.
My name is Brandon Flores, and I'm going to be a mechanical engineer.
My name is Melissa, and I'm going to be a teacher.
My name is Juan, I'm going to be a chemical engineer.
My name is Luis, I'm going to be a mechanical engineer.
And I'm looking at cosmetology. My name is Leah, I'm going to be an OBGYN. My name is Heather, I'm going to be a psychologist. My name is Laura Ware, and I'm going to be a juvenile counselor. My name is Clara, and I'm going to be an interior designer.
My name is Alex, and I want to be a business. My name is Jose Alvarez, and I want to be an entrepreneur.
Going to be.
My name is Lisa, I'm going to be a photographer. My name is Maria, and I'm going to be a trauma nurse.
My name is Jose Oliva, and I'm going to be an architectural engineer.
My name is Natalia, and I'm going to be an orthodontist.
My name is Fatima Lai, and I'm going to be some type of designer.
My name is Jose Gomez, and I'm going to be a surgeon.
My name is Jordan. I'm going to be a permanent student.
My name is Kayla, I'm going to be an emergency room nurse. My name is Ryan, I'm going to be an engineer.
My name is Jared, I'm going to be a detective. My name is Joe, and I'm going to be a doctor.
My name is Joel, I'm going to be an artist.
My name is Javier, I'm going to be a soccer player.
My name is Roberta, and I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
My name is Delia, and I'm going to be a physical therapist.
My name is Daniel, and I'm going to be a construction worker.
Okay.
No.
Who did it?
My name's Blaze. I'm going to be an environmental activist.
Out of your own. All right. So, what I'm going to tell you again is my story, and it has a beginning, and it ends in me meeting Blaze. So that's kind of the timeline that we're dealing with. So, the reason that I show you Mario Cuomo is because it highlights where do I come from. So, I came to America at the age of 13, and I came from a poor place in small town in southern Mexico, Soetitan, Chiapas, and that was in my lifetime, I've been in a position where my family was poor. We didn't have enough to eat, and I lived in a mud hut. And as a 5-year-old, from time to time, I would partake on a piece of clay from the mud hut. And my old man used to get absolutely livid because I did that. I would come to understand many years later from science that many child who suffers from mineral deficiencies will partake in a little bit here and there because it contains minerals in it. So that's literally the place where I come from. I was fortunate enough to go to school from the first to the 6th grade, and when it came time for 7th grade, at least at the time and where I was then, it required tuition and it required to pay for books. And I did not have it, and my mother did not have it, and my father had left us for America and he never came back and he never helped us. So we didn't have it. My mom put together enough for me to get enrolled in school, but she didn't have enough for the books, so I struggled mightily because I did not have the books. So about one point or another, I said enough. So I quit. I dropped out in 7th grade, and I went to work. And the work that was available to me was work in the fields of sugarcane, either carrying, weeding, or harvesting. It's really hard work. If you get a chance, you can Google Safra, and you will see what it looks like. You get up at 5:30 in the morning. You walk a mile or two to somebody's house who has a truck. About 20 of you get in the back of the truck and off you go to the fields. And you cut sugarcane from sun up to sundown. While doing that work, I met this incredible young man who would have been about 17 years old. In the prime of his life, he was an athlete, he was a genius, and he was trapped harvesting sugarcane. But what he had is he had passion for it. He was the best, he wanted to be the best. If I was cutting sugar, my role was here, he was that far ahead of me, and I said I would be like him. Because what you gotta understand is that that was my destiny. My destiny as a 12-year-old was to work the fields of southern Mexico for mere pennies. And I was ready to do it because that was the circumstances in which I was trusted. So, as luck would have it, my father came back the spring of what would have been my 7th grade year. And he came to me and had this conversation with me where he said, I got this opportunity for you, but it has to be your decision. You can never come back and tell me that I made you do it. You have to decide. You have to decide. And the opportunity is you can stay here and work for pennies, or you can go to America and work for dollars. It's not a hard decision to make when you're a 13-year-old. So I went to my mom and asked for permission. And my mom, at the age of 13, had to choose to let go of her oldest son. And she did with 3 conditions. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs. I didn't do drugs, I didn't smoke, I didn't drink. I was 24 before I had a drink of alcohol. Still don't do drugs and I still don't smoke. I don't actually drink anymore, I quit that as well. But that was the opportunity. So we got on a truck and then a bus and then we ended up in Tijuana. And then, for those of you who are wondering, yes, I came to America in the traditional way. And landed in Encinitas, California, in a house not far away from here. I lived with about 20 people. I did find work. I worked for Charlie White in Cartley, making $3 an hour, digging ditches. That was in landscaping. Worked 10-hour days, made $30 a day. It's a lot more money than I made in Southern Mexico. Again, I found myself with a new destiny, and I was ready to accept it. I was going to be good at it, I was going to get better at it, and I was make a living at it. My father, who I've made peace with him, learned that resentment goes a lot less to them than it goes to you. The resentment only affects you. So at one point in my life, I was able to let go and not resent him anymore. Feeling double feeling. So that's for my relationship with him. At the time, though, it was 10 years. So he's a smart man. He had a second grade education, and he was beat up by life, and he let life get to him. But he understood that in America you had to learn English. So he took classes, adult education, in the classroom someday, and he would tag me along in what would have been the summer between 7th and 8th grade. And I would go along with him and sit in tables just like this. And but I was not enrolled in adult ed, so I didn't have folks, so I tried to get his, and he'd get upset at me. And then when that term ended, somebody put a folding table outside the classroom, and they were signing up the adults to take the next course. So he drags me there because he doesn't want to keep sharing his books anymore, and he tells the person that I need to be enrolled. That's when we were politely reminded that in America it is against the law to keep a child from going to school. My father again turned to me and said, if you want to do that, you better figure out, because I got nothing to do with it. So the person gave me a card with the address and information for Lopez Junior High. On one of the days when I was not working, possibly a Thursday, I got up and walked up Santa Fe Drive, Lopez Drive, took a left, and started looking for Lopez Junior High. I did not speak English. I had nothing and nobody. And I need to find it. I know that it's on Oakcrest Drive, so I keep looking for it. And I go up and down Oakcrest Drive from Santa Fe Drive to Encinitas Boulevard, back and forth. I can't find it. And it takes me about 3 hours there, and I can't find it. But I knew one thing: it's there. And it has to do with something I do not know that is driving at the fact that I can't find it. And I stay there. And I get tired, so I start wandering off into the fields. Lopez Junior High is terrace, so there's field 1, field 2, field 3, and I just slowly pull my way up the terraces. Lo and behold, there it is. There's a reason it's called Oakcrest. It's like the crest of the downhill. So I find it, and go in and talk to Mrs. Moreno, the counselor, and I tell her that I need to sign up. She goes, well, you need your parents. Well, that's not going to happen. Well, you need a relative. That's not going to happen. She finally lets in, and she goes, well, can you have somebody sign this? She's the paper. And through a lot of consternation, I get the old man to sign it. So I get enrolled at Oakcrest Junior High. I show up, and they put me in all the remedial classes, and they put me in ESL 1. And what I knew, this would become paramount to my existence. What I knew then was the following: I needed to learn, and I needed to learn fast, because my old man and I had a deal. I'd go to school for 1 year and 1 year only. That was the deal. You learn English, you get back to work, because if you know English, you're going to get paid more. So that was it. I had 1 year. So I'm talking to the counselor and says, I can't be an ESL 1. And you go, why? Because I need to learn, and I need to learn fast. I need to learn now. And they refused to put me in ESL 2. So they put me in ESL 1. I show up in the classroom. I listen to the teacher tell how slowly we're going to learn this thing. I literally walk out and find out where ESL 2 is, and I go to ESL 2. And a month goes by, and Mrs. Matthews, who was my ESL 2 teacher, she would call roll. Did I miss anyone? Should I add me to the list? Weeks go by and says, you gotta fix that. Oh, I get to it. About a month goes by, they call me into the office and said, your reports from all your other classes is that you're doing great, but you're missing English class, the most important class. So I'm not missing it. I'm in ESL 2. Ask the teacher. We go ask Mrs. Matthews. Mrs. Matthews goes, he's doing well here. Leave him here. Skip ESL 1. And that would become a common theme in my career as an English learner. So I do that. First semester ends, and because I'm hungry and I'm in a hurry to learn, I got straight A's. And everybody's happy: administration, teachers, award ceremony and they give me a certificate, the least happiest person in the room is me. Because I understood that some of my peers, not that they were better than me, but that they were getting access to a level of education that I did not have access to. And it made me absolutely insane because I was in a hurry to learn. I did not have 4 years, 5 years, I had 1 year. So I went into Mrs. Moreno's and I said, I'm done with remedial classes. I need them all in English, I need them now. And they refused, and I wouldn't leave. So they finally let me take all English classes except for one because they couldn't fit in my schedule. History. And of course, you know what's happening, it's hard. And I do okay in all of them except for 8th grade science. Science terms are more difficult, so I struggle with it. And I was getting an F through for the class all the way to the end until I got a B in the final, which pulled my grade to a D. But I will tell you that of all the grades I ever gotten in my life, that D is worth more to me than anything in the world because I learned. I took regular science in 9th grade and I got an A. So, and 9th grade ends, and my biggest fear, my biggest problem in the world is that my dad and I have to have this conversation, which is very slanted because the only one that wants to have it is me. Because the deal was 1 year and that year is done. So I worked with construction. And then throughout the summer, I approached him and it became a problem for us. He finally relented and he said, 1 more year. You get 1 more year. And then for sure, you got to get back to work. So you got to understand, he didn't help us when I was down with my mom and siblings in Mexico. And when I worked, I gave him money and he wasn't sending it home either. So there was multiple layers to our strained relationship. But more important than any was this idea that I couldn't go to school. But I got to go my freshman year and got through that fine. But somewhere along the way, things get complicated, as they always do. Because I work construction, I mean real construction, I built decks overlooking the ocean. And the cliffside, there's no access for, backhoes or machines to go up there and make the holes that are required for the footings of the decks. So the only way to do it is somebody to with a jackhammer to go do it, dig the hole by hand. And then these folks don't like piles of dirt in their backyards, so then you gotta use five gallon buckets and bail that out to the front so it can be taken away. It's hard work. 10-hour days. It's got an incredible side effect. You become quite strong. And then I found the ocean and I started swimming. I couldn't afford a boogie, so I body surfed. Then I was strong in shape. Then I came back to PE my freshman year, and I was, as much as I could, a normal teenager. I had all manner of anxiety, all manner of insecurities. Okay? So there were very few things I could control in the world when you are alone in the world that way. The one thing I can control is, it's like, if I'm going to run, it is for sure no one that is going to beat me. So I run hard. And when that first mile of freshman year PE came about, I ran hard. And funny thing, I was in shape. So I took off. Coach Fields noticed and he says, you ought to go out for the cross country team. No idea what that is. I literally thought that you went all over the country. That's what I thought. English is a second language. So I joined the cross country team. I show up, Coach Davis on track says, so you want to run? All right, we're going to go out to Cardiff. We're going to go out and back, follow those guys over there. Like, take off, just like I run the mile. Boy, that runs out quick when you're going 3 miles. It's hard coming back because we went out 1.5 miles, back 1.5 miles. But I got a hold of it. By the time season ended, I made the varsity team, qualified for CIF, dropped my time to 17:20, run a sub 5 mile. I was supposed to be the great miler to come to San Diego. All of those things cause a problem with a schedule that requires you to be working every single day you're not in school, because there are meets that happen on Saturdays. There's a lot more tension now, man. It's becoming difficult. Cross-country season ends, get a varsity letter. Coach Fields pulls me over and says, "Wow, you had fun at that cross-country thing. How about you join the wrestling?" Coach Fields is a smart man. He pretty much sent me off for cross-country to get me in shape for wrestling season. And what I found out about wrestling is it's one-on-one. And it's up to you, and if you control it, you control it. Not to mention that I work construction, I was strong. That was it. That was the sport for me. I picked up wrestling, and then I ran track too. All of these things kept adding up to tension between me and my dad. That tension came to a halt somewhere in the spring of my freshman year.